I want to talk to you about the best server operating system this year, okay? So, which operating system is actually right for your server actually at this very moment? Let me first give you the opening chapter here. So, when we talk about opening and server operating system, you are speaking about a critical key in any network or data center. And so you have a tool that acts as the foundation for apps and services to actually function. So the demand for a server OS has increased due to the rise of cloud computing and also digital operations. So choosing the best option for companies is really important. So you do have a lot of options though, and with those numerous options, it can be really tough to decide which one is the best server operating system certificates that really suits a person's or a company's needs best. So one thing I want to say here is that when it comes to the possibility of having several layers of authenticity, you got to have the right strategy. Okay, so how do you choose the best operating system? Server OS this year. There are five elements I want you to pay attention to, and those five elements will be critical no matter where you're located at. You have purpose, scalability, security, management, and administration, and finally the cost. So the purpose, you want to know what kind of server you're setting up. Is it for a file server, web server, email server, database server, or something else? Because different OSs are better suited for different purposes. For example, Linux distros are a common choice for web servers, whereas a Windows server is frequently used for file servers. You also have scalability, so how many users will access the server, how much processing power and storage will be required. An OS that is scalable and capable of handling the load as your business expands is critical. Okay, so make sure that you measure the workload of your business against the potential scalability of the server OS that you have in mind. Think about security. So your server will store confidential information and handle vital tasks, making security a top priority for you. So consider an operating system with a solid security history, regular security updates, and built-in security features. So lack of security in a server OS will with sensitive or financial data stored on it could lead to catastrophic consequences, especially when you have a public facing website. Okay. Now, what's the difference between an operating system and a server operating system? Well, an OS or operating system is actually software that manages a computer's hardware resources and provides a platform for running applications. It really acts as a go between for the computer hardware and the user or apps, offering common services such as resource allocation, scheduling, input output control, and data management. So, something to really think about. So, let me talk to you about the most popular operating server, the the most popular server operating systems here. Okay, one thing for sure, you do have five common types of server operating systems. You have Linux servers, you have Microsoft Windows servers, cloud-based servers, you have Unix operating system, and the NetWare operating system. So when I speak to you about the Linux servers, if the topic is the best operating system for servers, Linux is definitely at the front line. So based on Unix, Linux is considered widely as one of the best OS options with web server capabilities for small computers. So Linux dates back to 1991 and is considered by the developer and coding community as one of the best server OS options with many popular qualities such as free to use, you have open source, okay, you have open source, you have multi-user support, multi-processor support, you have real-time performance, and you have stability in addition to practical application software including a text editor and a high level language compiler. So that's really good. And so that's Hat Enterprise Linux is probably the most popular, reliable, and best Linux server operating system. You also have Microsoft Windows servers. So Microsoft Windows servers have been around for a long time now, starting with Windows NT. with the latest version being Windows Server 2022. So the best thing about the Windows Server 2022 is that it really supports a hypervisor that allows virtual servers, and Windows 2000 and Windows 2003 are mainly network operating systems. So many considers the Windows operating system the best server OS because of its unique file management system. So that's kind of cool. Now, there are actually other advantages. They have marked Windows as one of the premier candidates for the best OS for web servers. You have symmetric multi-processor system support, large capacity memory management, and you have excellent security, network-wide security management. So that's really good. You also have cloud-based servers. So if you're looking for the best server operating system, think about cloud-based server, especially if you are looking for a an organization with multiple data requirements. So cloud servers are basically virtual servers hosted on a third-party infrastructure on an open network. So Amazon's AWS platforms, Google's cloud platform, Microsoft Azure, and the IBM Cloud Profile actually they provide cloud servers. Okay, so perhaps one of the best cloud servers is Amazon's AWS platform. So with Amazon Web Services, clients can create a virtual server with adjustable resources. So cloud-based servers actually have several advantages, such as easy access and use, enhanced security against data loss, multi-server approach. So that's kind of cool. Multi-server approach, flexibility, scalability, data backups, and also enhanced application performance. Number four, you also have the Unix operating system. So the server operating system is written in the C language, which is really a huge plus because the C language abbreviation supports different platforms. So giving developers and coders an opportunity to capitalize on more OS options and platforms, and as a result, enjoy more operational capacity in Unix-based operating system options. So old school developers may still consider Unix the best server OS despite newer options. So other key features of Unix are multi-user support, stability, security, simplicity, and open source software. So the Unix operating system is quite popular at the moment. So Unix comes in different versions that are similar and compatible with each other. So that's really good. And then you have the network operating system. So in the old days, the network operating system was considered the best server OS. This particular server had a dedicated server in the network, which had its advantages in the early client server years, such as multi-processor support, large capacity physical memory management, basic printing functions, and scalability schemes for corporate networks, including open standards and file protocols. So Networks is now named Novell Open Enterprise Servers, OES, a Linux-based kernel. So what are the details here? If you think about the best server OS, you want to think about how does an operating system work? I mean, suppose you as the user want to complete a task or run an application on your computer, right? The operating system is your point of connection with your computer's hardware. That's the middleman, if you will. That's the intermediary. The operating system manages different functions such as resource management, I/O operations, and security protocols. In simple words, the best server OS enables users such as you to use computers efficiently, even if they're not tech savvy at all. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So how do you choose the best server OS for your small business? Well, it really depends on your goals, but choosing the best operating system for servers for a small business can be quite challenging, especially if you have no experience in this area. Okay. I mean, but first, I want you to really understand that your primary goal is going to be the foundation of your decision. So my question to you is, what is your primary goal of having a business server in the first place? Let me explain. If you want to find the best server OS, you must first list your needs carefully. These are some of the common issues a business server that you are likely to expect from a best OS for a web server candidate. So storing and sharing files, which are really essential for data protection. You have domain specific email clients, web hosting, which really ensures availability and accessibility of your content to users. Users, this will raise your ranking in search engines, improves your website speed and efficiency. Hosting an e-commerce store. So this ensures secure and efficient commercial transactions. Also creating a virtual server. So this will enhance remote work efficiency by providing virtual desktops. And finally, you have cloud backup. So this ensures data storage security. So one thing for sure, figuring out exactly what you need from a business server enables you to spot the best server OS on the market. Make sure you list your future requirements as well for when you decide to, let's say, expand your business. So that's the first question. The first question is, what is your primary goal of having a business server? Next, how much workload are you expecting from your business server? So workload capacity is really dependent on the hard drive, processors, and RAM capability. So suppose you don't have a clear idea about your business workload. In that case, you can research similar businesses to yours. Let's say your area, if you are in a location, you want to see a business your size, and so you want to find out which server OS they are using. Those businesses that are similar to yours, it might be the best server OS you can use for your business. So again, you want to do thorough research at the very beginning. Next, another question is, do you prefer an on-premise or off-premise server? So the location of the server is really critical too, okay? So having an on-premise server means you'll be responsible for everything, managing and maintaining all services, not to mention training staff to use every day, to use everything properly every day. Maybe you might have to hire someone like on a full-time basis to take care of the server itself. This could be the IT person. So aside from the immense workload, choosing an on-premise server can cost you a lot. So if you run a small business, opting for a cloud off-premise server might be a better option. The best thing about an off-premise server is that you have 24/7 access to on-demand service over the internet. As for expanding your business over time, cloud servers are scalable and therefore definitely the best option in that case, okay? And then next question is, what type of server do you want? So a dedicated server, so you have a dedicated servers, you have virtual servers, and then you have cloud servers. Let me explain. A dedicated server has all the essentials you need to manage your small business, including RAM, processor, hard drive, and operating system. The best and most important advantage that comes with dedicated servers is actually security. Since there are no shared resources, none of your data is at risk, okay? And that's kind of cool because you have 100% control over your server. What about virtual servers? Well, the beauty of virtual servers is that they are super efficient. In other words, you can really run several layers of activity of protocols, okay? And basically, what happens here is that you have one hardware to offer multiple virtual machines. So this type of server is a great option for you if you want to have separate servers for different parts of your business. You can use CPU, RAM, network, and disk to create multiple virtual environments to cater to your business needs. And virtual servers are cost effective and you can manage every aspect of your business faster. So time and money saved, what could be better, right? So that's kind of cool. And then you have cloud servers. So if you want a server that provides on-demand services 24/7, cloud servers are the best option. The best server operating system for small businesses is cost-effective, offers 24/7 support, is fast and secure and reliable, and cloud servers actually offer all of these things. The best part is that you can choose a cloud server that suits your budget, public, private, and hybrid clouds. Also, you don't have to worry about backup, or storage issues with cloud servers, because the cloud server provider will take care of that. So let me give you the top servers here. So I'm going to show this to you on the screen so you have a clear idea. So if you are looking for, let's say, the Windows Small Business Server, you have a huge advantage because you have a remote web workspace, you have shared fax service, shared modem service, and here you can accommodate up to 75 people. Okay, price range you're looking at $69 to $120. That's for Windows Small Business Server. You also have Solaris. So Solaris supports x64 workstations, supports AMD Opteron and Intel Xeon based processors, supports x86 systems from Dell, HP, Intel, Fujitsu, Siemens, and IBM. And you have free and open source server OS. On the flip side, Solaris is expensive and there are additional update costs to really account for. In terms of pricing, you're looking at $700 all the way to $1,000. So, this is pretty considerable in terms of cost. Then you also have the Linux Ubuntu server. And this server is startup friendly. You have open source software. Now, there is some difficulty to use Linux Ubuntu, and it doesn't support Photoshop or MS Office. Now, for pricing, you have free, and the paid version will start somewhere from $25 to $125. Sometimes you can go all the way to $1,500. You also have the free BSD. So here you have open source software. There are long up times, stable, and a fast reboot process. On the flip side, there is no driver support. There is poor customer support. But hey, listen, it is free. So it is what it is. There is no free lunch. But hey, listen, this is free. And you also have Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Here you have extensive support for server distribution. It detects security vulnerabilities. You have effective upgrades, excellent support, and you have a process that is stable and also reliable. The whole process, you might have expensive training courses and expensive license. This will set you back anywhere from $350 to $500. Okay, so choosing the best server OS for your small business, for your small business case, can also be quite subjective. So make sure to test out those options to find out the one that actually fits your specific business use case. So let me talk to you about, in terms of top servers, I first talked to you about the best Linux server OS. And I spoke to you about the top servers. Yeah. Now let's talk about the best Linux server OS. Okay. Because within the Linux category, you have some players too that are really pretty good. So if you are a Windows users like most folk, this section will be useful in helping you familiarize yourself with best Linux server distro. In general, Linux distributions have a reputation for being a great web server OS cases. So I'm showing this to you on the screen once again. So you have the product Ubuntu server. With that, you have a 24/7 support. There is a paid version. You have paid enterprise support, and the paid version goes from $25 to $1,500. Then you have Debian. So you have a 24/7 support. There is long established presence, exceptionally secure, and cloud images, and it is free. What about OpenSUSE? Well, here you have 24/7 support also. You have Atomic updates, Kiwi, and Open build services. And you have the free version, doesn't cost you anything. The paid version will set you back anywhere from $750 to $1,000. And you have Fedora server. There is no 24/7 support. You do need authentication credentials, which is really great. You have a management toolkit, and you have modularity, and the price range is $0, so it's free. And then you have Fedora Core OS, which has no 24/7 support. You have automatic updates. You have a tool that supports multiple cloud platforms, multiple development streams, and it's also free. So that's really good. Let me give you a few tips for choosing the best OS for web server. You want to really pay attention to the server's performance. You want to pay attention to security. Security is going to be key. Regular updates, but also the price points. Okay, so that's important, especially when it comes to getting things done from a scalability point of view. So the closing chapter. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about the best server OS. I gave you the opening chapter, the most popular, the details, and the top servers. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.